Save it. Because this game can crash. Especially when you're trying to get to new worlds. Go figure. Yeah, I haven't kept up with Telltale much. I don't know what they've been up to lately. Is this the right one? Think so? No, this is the gears. Yeah, this is it. Just reading chat here. I hadn't heard that about Walking Dead 2. That's a little disappointing. Is an understatement, but still. Yeah, I don't know. That is very disappointing if they made a lot of jokes about gleefully killing off an autistic girl. That is kind of bad. And I get involved in the other conversation, but I don't know anything about Super Sentai. So anyway, let's read about this age a little bit, and maybe jot down a few drawings or something, just in case. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly, I think. For some reason, I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I'm standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I'm standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet, that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north. Hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever experienced. I was awakened by the terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a Myst linking book with me when I return, in case the one left there has been destroyed or damaged. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently, the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remember, has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the following meteors has created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly, the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. I'd draw that, but there's not much need, I think. It just looks like he was taking advantage of geothermal energy there. Even as the chasm has dripped right into the surface of this world, it has opened up a new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of the planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Cirrus and Akinar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I've also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge, and although writing goes faded, this game has a very uncertain timeline. I believe it takes place in the past, actually. Just not directly on Earth. Kind of. The lore is very confusing. The magnetic idea will work well, and I have decided 3 meters is not enough support for the beams, although something's amazingly strong. Picture of the ship. Speaking of one of my most prized inventions, I am could never imagine it to come together. Doubt. Could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Stop that. Cats. I am leaving today in order to bring back Cirrus and Akinar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteor set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust. but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that the large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. So, did we glean anything from all those writings? Yes, but you gotta kind of understand what it is. So here we are again. Cat, seriously? Right now, huh? Unfortunately, there's no power to this ship. And I don't see any way to provide it with power. It's now closed off to us forever. Well, at least until we manage to find our way back and then come back. So we have a strange new world, the spaceship age. Door here. So we have run against... Yes, Kitty was playing in the litter box. So what we have here is a puzzle very similar to the one we just solved to actually get into this world. We have sliders with noises on them. We have a button that actually plays those noises in order. So now it is a matter of figuring out which noises in which order. So we only need 5 of them. You want back out? Yes, you do. The official cat interruptions. And honestly, I don't remember this entire puzzle. I don't remember any of it. So this will be exploring to actually learn which goes where. So we have a microphone sitting here. And we have a button which lights up the little dish here. Well, lights up this thing behind the dish. Okay. And we have a button which lights up this. A stone obelisk or something along those lines, I guess. Guess maybe it just means the crystal formations going out around here. But yes, Atreus did mention the sounds. This very, very red world here. That's where we came in. The wind coming up from a geothermal fissure. Running water. It's a fissure. And another cat that snuck in here. Suddenly wants out. And it's getting dark. The well here. Hi, bats. The bats are just there to provide ambiance. You can't go any further back that way. I don't recall what's with the bases. I just turned off the light. I just turned off the lights. Turn the lights back on. There we go. And this well takes us all the way over here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with the bases. I think they're just decoration. Oh. Not quite. No, not quite. Okay, where is it? That's not that. Getting a lot of static here. Okay. That's not the clock tower. Okay, so we found that one. There's that one. That would be the obelisk, would be near 360. Crystal. Clock tower. Okay. Fair enough. Clock. Okay, so let's see. $122.1. I don't know how important the exact degrees are. $18.7. Yeah, the screen flashing is the capture. That's the recording program, not catching things exactly correct. So the only thing that flashed when I got within the right zone are the little arrows down here. Okay, so you hit this button and it gives you a different order. Fair enough. Trying to wonder if there's anything else there I needed. I didn't see anything, so probably not. Because the things we should be finding some red and blue pages, and I'm not sure exactly where they're hiding. That's just that. There's not usually a puzzle. Who built this place? It's more like who wrote it into existence. Man, it's dark now and I can't see. Aha! So here we have a blue page. So now we are carrying the blue page with us. The red page is similarly somewhere else, just hiding out in plain sight. But we will need to come back here to get it because we cannot carry 2 pages at once. We can only carry 1, sadly. Is that the red page? No, that isn't it. Does look like a place I would expect a red page to show up. That's the blue page. I'm amazed that it's stuck to that bench all this time, but, you know, game logic. And yes, I'm probably going to go look at the same places over and over and over again. Because finding the red and blue pages advances a little story. A little bit of the story. Looks like that bridge never got finished. Or if it did get finished, it got broken pretty quick. I just want to find where it is so we can come back and just kind of plunge forward immediately. Didn't see it in there. If anybody sees it, let me know. Because this is very possible I'm just going to overlook the things. That's kind of annoying. Now remembering where something like the pages are is... maybe it's inside the building. Maybe it's not even out here at all. Yeah, right. The game is not that nice. Okay, one back here. Oh well, let's go back here. Then we can come back and look for the red page. Since we already have the blue one. Let's see, the first one was... okay, then the second one. Running water. The third one. It's either that wind or the other wind. I think it's that one. That wind. The fifth one was... yep, there we go. Not seeing the page. So we find ourselves inside basically a minecart. Okay, so none of the other buttons here do anything, and we've got a reading that says southeast. So that's going to give us directions. Once we actually get down to the tracks down here. So we heard a pink. But you notice we can't go forward. Wherever we see one of those, that's kind of a blocked off spot. So our first spot, we hear a plink. And we can only go north. Now this would be much just much trial and error as you want it to. But the tones that you hear whenever the minecart stops will tell you what direction you need to go. But you got to figure out which direction matches up with which sound. So anyway, north is represented by that. So we go. And you heard that little... That's a different direction. What are our options? Well, we can't go northeast. We could go south, but that would take us right back where we were. We could go west. So that sound means west. This area is very sound-based, yes. So we heard a plink, which means our next stop is north. Oh, that's a new sound. South is where we came from. So that new sound means east. And we heard that hiss again. So we have that. Northeast is open. West is where we came from. And I think, if I recall, we want to go south here. I'm pretty sure that sound means south. Pretty sure we haven't gotten into the diagonal directions yet. Okay. And that sounds familiar. And what you hear is a combination of the two sounds. So that, the clink of the pan and that little trill together means southwest. And back to west. Oops. So the trill and the plink mean we go northwest. Plink and the hiss and just a standard plink. combination of south and east. And yeah, the game actually is kind of generous here, but you've got to make the correlation between the sounds and the directions. That's the only thing you've got to do to solve this puzzle, but doing that can take you quite a bit of trial and error. Time for VR, Myst. No, thank you. And we are here. Where is here? That is a really good question. Actually, gotta hit the button, that would help. Can't just walk on the track, huh? Oh well. And after all that, we get an ominous music tone. And I never saw any sign of the red page. But we have our way back to the main island. Specifically, underneath the library. Underneath the little chandelier in the library. In the main island. So, we've come back, we've brought the blue page, as this guy suggested. So let's see what plays out, shall we?
Returned. Hey, just rescue me. I'm acting off. My brother, I beg you. To be complete. Always blue pages. Listen to him. Now listen to my brother. Egotistical fool and a liar. Bring me the blue pages. The red one. Don't bring the red one. Boy, I've been wrongfully imprisoned. Must. I will have my retribution. Please. Pages.
So, he seems perfectly normal. He seems perfectly sane, right? He seems very, very, very trustworthy. Seems very trustworthy to me. They're sealed in the books and we are helping to get out. You will see. You will see. But for now, we need to go get the red page. Which means that we've got to go through the minecart again. Okay, let's see if we can locate this thing. Checked up there. I wish strafing worked, but I could never get it to work. Did I check back here? I think I see it. All the way over here, even. There it is. Crisis averted. I mean, you think about it. We've got to trust one of these two guys. We don't exactly have a third option available to us. The question is, which one do we trust? No, you can see the page if you already have the page. You can see it. And if you try to pick up both of them, it'll just send the original back to the spot it came from. And you pick up the new one. Don't expect this story to get any really clearer for Cirrus. Third option, don't gather any pages, but then what? You just explore the worlds and learn nothing? Well, you learn what's in the worlds, but you know. And I will say this, it is completely possible to beat this game in under a half hour if you know exactly what to do. Gather both and let them fight it out? That's a possibility. It's also very smart to write down this combination. This path you have to take. It's even smarter to keep track of where you are in the path. Just saying. Which I didn't really. Yep, minecart again. This... yeah. Keep in mind, this was a game from the 90s, so that means we didn't really have the internet nearly as widespread as we do today. Other way. Yeah, they didn't think of that. They did not think of making this auto-cart you the second or third or fourth times you had to come through here. Yeah, southwest. And if I were doing this as a Let's Play, I would have cut this out. But, unfortunately, since I am streaming this, I don't have that option. Or at least sped it up. Yeah, we hope you wrote it down, or else you're going to be listening to the sounds all over again and hoping you don't get it wrong this time. Should be the last one, though, if I go the right direction. So, back through the door. Open it up. And back to Myst. Give the red book its red page.
Return. Thank you for bringing me red page. You must continue. My name is Sirius. I beg you to find the remaining red pages. You must release me from this book which has become. I need more red pages, please. Beg. Don't waste time. Look. Don't. My brother. And I wrongfully imprisoned. Bring the red page to me.
Well, he at least sounds like he's in control of his faculties. And yes, we did read something about them. We did read Cirrus and Achenar, yes. We did indeed read something about them. And we also heard something about them. So now that we have that taken care of, I'm not ending the stream by any means. Let's erase that and save over it. There we go. So give me just 1 second. I'm not ending anything here. I have to close the game because there is a slight issue after you play for a couple of hours.